Hello everyone, hope you have a great homecoming today. The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes CHS alumni with academic and or extracurricular activities while at CHS and an outstanding professional year, services to country and community, strong family leadership, and Jim Carney, who's receiving the award today, has achieved outstanding heights in all of these categories. While at CHS, Carney was extremely involved in sports. He participated in golf and basketball for 4 years and football for 3 years. And like last year's golf team, their team qualified for the state tournament and tied for first place. Individually, he also won the state golf championship. Jim is one of only 2 CHS alumni to receive the Distinguished Alumni Award and to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame. After graduation from CHS in 1966, Carney attended the University of Iowa. In college, he lettered in golf, and he also played on the basketball team his freshman year until he hurt his ankle. In college, he won the state amateur golf championship and played both in the Big Ten and the NCAA golf championship. After law school, Jim was drafted into the U.S. Army. And while in the military, he had the unbelievable assignment of going to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Jim coached the golf and basketball teams and played on the all-Army golf and basketball teams during his tenure with the Army. After the military, Jim graduated from Drake Law School and began his law firm and practiced the general practice of law. In over 40 years, Jim's built the premier lobbying and civil litigation firm in all of Iowa, Carney and Appleby. Jim was one of the most respected and tenured lobbyists in the state. Jim has been involved in various professional organizations and has received numerous awards for his advocacy on behalf of clients and associations, including an award of merit from the Iowa Bar Association, which is the highest award a bunch of lawyers can give to an attorney. So in addition to all of this, and probably most importantly, is his incredible generosity over his career. He's been very active in supporting the University of Iowa. Jim, in 2009, was honored with the iClub Volunteer of the Year Award with over 30 years of involvement in UNI. He's donated and been involved in capital campaigns for almost every building at University of Iowa and everything that's occurred over the last 30 years there. Annually, Jim gives back to Centerville as well, and CHS hosting with his family the Clyde and Virginia Carney Golf Tournament at the Avenues Country Club. The proceeds from this tournament have led to 17 scholarships for graduating CHS students. Some of the folks down here today will receive that award in a few months. And he's also given to the CHS Booster Club and other Centerville projects throughout the years. Please join me in welcoming the 2015 Centerville High School Distinguished Alumni, Jim Carney.
Thank you, Mike. Annabelle James. Grandchildren. Well, it's good to be here, and I'm very appreciative of the award. I thought about what to say, and it's pretty difficult. But I'd like to congratulate the class of 65. Many of those people who were in 65 are great friends of mine, especially the athletes that I played with. Great bunch of guys. Terrific class. Wade, you did a great job today. But you better be glad you went in front of that Raymond Bennett. That's a tough act to follow. Raymond, I don't know what the hell you do, but you could be a comedian. It was good. What do you do? Someone, I think Mike told me you might be a computer geek or something. You were fiddling around with that phone, that antiquated phone that we used to use all the time. And Blake, you did a wonderful job too. Great program by everyone. Choir, cheerleaders, everyone. I spoke this morning at breakfast a little bit, and one thing I started out with was there was something that was written by someone, sometime, somewhere. It's called "Brevity is the Soul of All Wit." I don't know if any of you know who wrote that. The people who were there at the breakfast learned who wrote that, but does anyone know who wrote "Brevity is the Soul of All Wit"? No one? What it means is you talk and get the hell out of there. You leave. You be short in your speech. And I've learned that over the years. I'll tell you, I've sat through hundreds and hundreds of presentations at large meetings, seminars, board meetings, all kinds of meetings, and listened to people go on and on and on when they should have just, someone should have got the hook and taken them off the stage or something. I will try to be brief. I'm not very witty. So I'll just focus on being brief. It was great to grow up here in Centerville. Great hometown. Proud of my hometown. A lot of great memories. You know, if you grew up in Centerville, Pancake Day has got to be one of the big memories of your life. You know, as a little kid, eating as many of those pancakes as you can, stuffing them down, getting syrup all over everything. You know, it's just a great, great day. Still a great day. Scooping the loop around allegedly the world's largest city square. I've never quite figured that one out. I don't know if anyone's fact-checked that, but I told my daughter when we were coming down here, you know, that this is the world's largest city square, and is that true? Yeah. Does anyone really know? Pardon? Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square. That's somewhere else, right? That's not. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a nice thing to tell people. I tell people that all the time, and it sure seems like a big square to me when I go to other places. And I've tried lawsuits, tried cases all over the state of Iowa. And the courthouse is usually on the city square, not always, but as I've gone to different places, I've sure thought, well, Centerville does have the largest city square. Friday night football, basketball games, remember those. Remember the center where we used to, the center, I don't know when it kind of went bye-bye, but well, that was a great place to go, a safe place to go to dance and have fun. You know, you just wait through the whole evening for one of those slow songs. You get up the nerve to go ask a girl to dance, you just hope they wouldn't say no. Yeah, that was just a wonderful place. For me, of course, playing golf out at the country club. You know, and to this day, I bring people down here. You go out there and you look at that clubhouse and you think, wow, what a majestic place, beautiful, beautiful place. I worked a lot as a kid. The Centerville Bottling Works was where I started. Vic Bonnell owned it. And we bottled pot. And Vic would pick me up at about 5 or 5:30 in the morning, and we'd start with the cafes, because the cafes opened first. and you would get them out of the way, and then you worked your way to the gas stations, and then finally you worked your way to the grocery stores and delivered the pop, and then you come back and you bottle pop. And the biggest benefit, of course, of working at Central Bottling Works is that you got to drink all the pop you wanted. And Tim Ryan also worked down there. I hate to think of the amount of pop we drank. Jesus, it was a lot of pop. A lot of pop. And then I worked with Jackie Morris up at his auto dealer and that washing thing that he had there. And that was quite an experience, cleaning the new cars when they came in and cleaning those sumps out. Now they have them automatic. We used to have to crawl down in there and shovel that stuff out, get right in the muck down there. God only knows what was in there with you, but that was one of my better jobs, I guess. And an interesting one was I started out working at Jim Ireland's, and all of you know Jim Ireland's still here. It was a wonderful, wonderful place to work. I learned about the $25 Undertaker suit. Jim had this favorite black suit, and he says, now, you know, when a certain person comes in, you take them back and you show them that black Undertaker suit for $25, and you tell them it wears like cast iron. It felt like cast iron. I'll never forget that. And then I went down the street to Bob Elgin's and worked for Jim's competitor, for Bob and Jack down there, and that was a wonderful experience. And I just thought of a couple things. Don't have any big suggestions for the students. Don't know if there's any secret other than hard work. Hard work. And I think bringing a sense of urgency to what you do, you know, really getting at it, no matter what it is, athletics, your daily work, your family, a real sense of urgency. I'd like to just mention the importance of other people. None of us get anywhere without the help of other people. Your teachers, your coaches, your friends, your family. Sometimes someone you never even dreamed of who helps you out, who gives you an opportunity to do something. And I think you'll find that that opportunity is really an elusive thing. I mean, you know, you wait, you're anxious, you want to succeed, you want to do things, but you have to have the opportunity. That door has to open to give you the chance to do a certain job, to take a certain job, to get on the football field tonight. You know, put me in, coach, let me play. Let me show you I can do it. But when you have the opportunity, take it, run with it, and good things will happen. I have a favorite saying, I don't know what it is, it's just something I say every now and then. My secretary, Susan, by the way, you know, I've been very fortunate. Susan's probably worked about 150 years for me. She worked and worked and worked. But life has a lot of, throws you some curves. Every now and then the bird comes on over and poops on your head. you know, bad things happen. No matter how good you are, no matter how much planning you do, no matter how prepared you are, bad things happen. And I call that the raging river of life. And you just have to keep your canoe upright. That's the key. Don't capsize, don't go under. Keep your canoe upright. And there'll be a lot of people there to help you, especially your close friends and family. Mike mentioned it, and I talked a little bit about this morning. There was if you know Iowa City at all, you know there's football weekends, there's ordinarily quite a little bit of consumption of alcohol going on. Probably too much, but I was in Iowa City on a night, it had to be, absolutely had to be, I think historically, if we could go back and check the consumption data, had to be one of the drunkest nights ever in Iowa City. And it was, what happened is, it was during the Vietnam War, and it was when we had the first lottery, and for those of you who are old enough to remember that, and for those of you who didn't even know about the lottery, maybe you've read about it, what happened is it was a way of getting people into the service, supposedly a fair way. And there was a big lottery on TV, and they drew the numbers out, and whatever your birthday was, was corresponded with a number. And so TV's broadcasting this, and if you got a low number, you were very happy. You went out, you got drunk because you were lucky, and you knew you weren't going to. Excuse me. If you got a very high number, you probably weren't going to go. You went out, and you got drunk, and you were happy. You got a high number. If you got a low number, you went out and got drunk because you got a low number, and you figured you were going to Vietnam and be killed. Which we had, people in my class be killed, and people in the 65 class be killed. And, it was a horrible, horrible time. But I went into service through the lottery, came home, went down to Fort Leonard Wood, and they have a process where they read off the forts by alphabetical order, and you find out what you're going to be after basic training by what fort you're going to. So, like Fort Benjamin Harrison, you're going to be a clerk. Fort Knox, you're going to be an artillery guy. Fort Ord, you're going to go be an advanced infantry training and go to Vietnam. Fort Polk, you're going to go to advanced infantry training and go to Vietnam. Stay at Fort Leonard Wood, you're going to go to advanced infantry training and go to Vietnam. Well, they go through the whole alphabet, and they hadn't read my name for any of those forts, and they read off West Point. And the company commander just went crazy. He yelled at me. Well, I can't use the word that he said here, but he yelled at me and he said, "You're in my office." And I said, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" I just said, "I don't know. I didn't ask to be here. I was drafted, for God's sake." And I ended up, I go to West Point, and it was probably 2 of the best years of my life because it followed. When I graduated from Iowa, there were a lot of demonstrations going on. Us older folks can remember this. They firebombed the ROTC building, burned it down, shut Iowa Book, bombed it. The State Patrol and National Guard took over the campus, closed the campus, and so really, really tumultuous times. And I went from that environment, with all the demonstrations and students at Iowa to West Point. It was quite a contrast, and it was just an unbelievable experience coaching the cadets and working with them for 2 years. And I think it really helped me in life, seeing the unbelievable discipline that those cadets had. by the way, Bobby Knight was there, and I think it enabled Bobby Knight to be the kind of coach he was, such a taskmaster, such a, I mean, he was pretty crazy, actually. He was a disciplinarian beyond what anyone can believe, but he was able to tell those kids, stick your head in that wall and then go do it, So I think it kind of enabled him in his coaching. That's just my own thought. I think Bobby might even tell you that. So finally here, trying to go by my word of being brief. And if you're arguing a case in court, by the way, or in the appellate court, if you've got an appeal, there's a light. And when you walk up there, you get the green light, so that means you can speak, obviously, you can talk. And then as you get to the end of your time, usually 2 or 3 minutes, the yellow light comes on. Well, you know what that means. That means caution, or get ready to terminate your discussion. And then when the red light comes on, you just gotta stop. And you literally have to stop unless you're invited by the justices to answer a question, or they say go ahead and finish your thought or something. It's pretty interesting to argue a case in the Supreme Court because of that. Well, there is no light here, so I don't know when to stop. But I want to thank my daughter, Sarah, Jeff, James, Annabelle for coming up from Atlanta, Susan for being here, and Jim, and then Mike and Jan and her kids. Tyler couldn't be here, but Tiffany and Kelly are, and their children. And I'll tell you one thing, the students, I don't know if anyone else from the class of 66 is here, but I can remember who spoke at our graduation. And I don't know who spoke at class of 65's graduation, the guest speaker. Anyone remember? In 65, do you remember who spoke at your graduation? No one? See, that tells you how memorable these moments will be. I remember who spoke at my high school graduation. A guy by the name of Don Ross, who was a political science professor from the University of Iowa. I do remember that. I remember it only because when I went to Iowa, I took a course from him, and he was a very good professor. But I don't remember a damn thing he said that night. Not one word. Nothing. Nothing. But if you can remember one thing from my being up here and talking to you, it's the power of 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm telling you, as you go through life, if you just say thank you every time someone does something nice for you, your family, or your friends, you will be forever remembered. So thank you very much.